Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of Let's Learn the Mods. Today we're going to be focusing on the processing of ores. So if you're unsure about all of this, I would refer back to episode 1 and 2. That'll help you out with everything that's going on here. Alright, so let's get started by setting out our cables from the bat box. We have that facing downwards on the output. Alright, it's got all that set up. So let's start with the extractor. What the extractor allows us to do is create rubber from sticky resin. Rubber is essentially used in all cables to insulate them so they don't cause damage to you, as well as allow them to be used in circuits because they require insulated cable to be able to make circuits, which is used in most machines. Alright, next we're going to go over the macerator. What the macerator does is it allows us to double up all ores we have. So we'll let that run. And don't mind this too much. This is just for demonstration purposes only. Alright, so next we have the ore washing plant. The way the ore washing plant works is it allows us to get more ore from our processed ore. So let's only it needs water to run as well as power. So I'm using an aqueous accumulator. Just hook a fluid duct directly up to there and it'll fill the internal buffer with water. You can also use Buildcraft pumps or whatever. It doesn't really matter just as long as you get the water in here. Alright, the macerator creates crushed iron ore. We can cook this up if we so choose in things like the electric furnace or just a standard furnace. So if we wanted to, we could just toss this in here now. Or we could take this all to the ore washing plant and allow this to run. Alright, see, as you saw, we got an iron ingot. And we'll just let that run. Next on the line would be a thermal centrifuge. This further allows us to upgrade how much ore we get out of it. So hook that up. Now the thing about this is it uses 128 EU per tick output. So hooking it up to a bat box line isn't ideal because it'll drain the power faster than too fast, and it needs 128 EU to run, and 32 EU will just cause it to keep stuttering and reset its thing, so it'll never actually complete anything unless you have it up to 128 EU line. As I said before, you could refer back to the episode of how to get power upgraded so you can do this. I'm just using a CESU on the back that hooks directly into this, so you could always do this, like have a dedicated CESU for that. Alright, so we got purified crushed iron ore. As I said before, you can cook this up if you wish, or you can place it in the thermal centrifuge. The thermal centrifuge will have to heat up before it can even do anything, so keep that in mind. This is a very slow process. Okay, so we got iron ingot from that, and as you see, we're also getting tiny piles of iron dust. I'll explain what that does in a minute, as well as stone dust and purified crushed iron. Alright, let's take our crafting table and put it over here, and we'll be using that in a minute. Okay, that's still heating up. Alright, cool. So now we got 9 tiny piles of iron dust. So let's take this over here in the crafting table, spread it all out. There we go. We got 1 extra iron dust from just washing it. I believe it's like if you wash 10, you'll get like essentially 2 ores, right? Yeah. It's pretty decent thing. So wash 5, you get 1 ore. Or 1 ingot, wash 2, or 10, you get 2 ingots, and so on. And eventually you'd actually get an extra 1. Alright, so this is almost heated up, and then it'll start running. It has to, like I said before, it has to heat up before it can even run. And you can't really speed that process up, unfortunately. Alright, so looks like it's almost done. And there we go. We got one tiny pile of gold dust as well as one iron dust. So you can get gold out of this, which is pretty awesome. If you go through the recipes, you can see we can get a bunch of other stuff, like you get silver from gold, and so on. Alright, so that covers up the segment of processing. So I'll continue the episodes as we go on, and I'll eventually show how to automate all of this. So I will see you all later.